Good morning, everyone. So first we will start talking about the first conditional and how we can form it. To start with, conditional type 1. We use first conditionals to talk about possibilities, future events. The form of the form of the conditionals type 1 is if simple present tense, comma future tense. For example, if he gets any worse, I will take him. If he gets any worse, I will take him to the doctor. If he don't get into the academy this year, I will try again next year. Now the important point here is how to form if conditionals type 1. First we will put the if, then the present symbol, and in the second part will plus space form. And here are the forms that you can switch between the condition and the results. Now we will watch a video about the use of the present simple of the if conditionals.
If you throw a ball in the air, it falls back down. If you pour water onto a fire, it gets put out. These are sentences that are called conditional sentences. These particular sentences are zero conditionals. Let's look at another type of condition. Onto a fire, it gets put this. These particular sentences are zero conditionals. Let's look at another type of conditional sentence. First conditionals. First conditionals are used to explain about conditions that have a real possibility of
If I had $1 million, just give me your guess. Now the most important type here, which is related to our Unit 4 in the 11th grader book, is conditionals type 3. We use the third conditionals when it's impossible that the condition will be fulfilled because it refers to the past. For example, if I had found her address, I would have sent her an invitation. I would have sent her an invitation if I had found her address. The form to make a conditional type 3 sentence is if plus past perfect plus conditional 2, which means would have plus the past participle. Now here are the forms to make a third conditional sentence. If in the beginning, the condition, then the result, or result, if, then condition. Let's watch the video now. Now I will give you a brief summary about the 4 types of the if conditionals. First, the zero conditional. It is used for a present true factual situations. To form it, you need to put verb 1 or verb s. In the main clause, we put also a present simple sentence. First conditional is used for future real factual situations. If I drink coffee tonight, I will not sleep well. Second conditional, used for present or future and real imaginary situations. If I drank coffee tonight, I wouldn't sleep well. And the last one, the third conditional, is used for the past and real imaginary situations. For example, if I had drunk coffee last night, I will not have slept well. Good morning, everyone. Now we'll move to Unit 4 and we'll start to run a discussion about the important subjects that you will face in Unit 4. Before we start, we will take some general questions just to be introduced to the new subjects that we will discuss in Unit 4. Question number 1. How do people communicate nowadays? They can use mobile phones, video conferencing, or face-to-face. In your opinion, what makes communicating successful? If you want to be a good communicator, how you can build the channels of communication to be successful? By following simple steps, you can make communication successful. First, being a good listener is the key concept and the most important factor to make it successful. Question number 3. What do you think are the characteristics of a good listener? In this question, the main focus is about the characteristics of a good listener. To be a good listener is another shape to be a good speaker. So listen is improving the ability to be a good speaker. First, he or she should be considerate and thoughtful. Now in the student book we will have exercise 2, which includes the characteristics of a good listener. And these points are important to be memorized, especially it will be brought as set book questions. So the characteristics of a good listeners are patient, eye contact, pay attention, emphasize, and ask questions. The next step in our lesson today is to know the new vocabulary that you will have in this lesson. So the new vocabulary are adjustment, assumption, blockout, capacity, defensiveness, distraction, empathy, enhance, interlocutor, non-verbal. You can refer to a dictionary to know the meanings of these vocabulary, or you can simply go to page 23 in the notebook that it is accompanied with the books to know the meanings. Now, after reading the article about the effective listening, you need to answer the following questions. First, what is the most communication problem according to the article, and how would you deal with it? Actually, the main problem in communication problems is defensiveness, and defensiveness is the major problem in communication, where can make the needed adjustments to deal with it. Questions related to the lines from 10 to 18. Why is empathy an essential factor for healthy communication? Why do you think that to empathize people is important to establish a good communication between people? Also, what does the article mean by listening between the lines? These are all important questions related to the set book questions, and it was already answered in the notebook. The first question, because it enables people to empathize with others. interlocutors and understand what really mean, it also helps them avoid misunderstanding. Now, relating to the concept of listening between the lines, it means to listen to someone shallowly and deep, to understand the implicit and the explicit meaning of the speech, and to attempt to understand what the other is trying to say indirectly. Now, last thing, we have the proverb, listen or your tongue will keep you deaf. What do we understand from this proverb? Actually, it means that we shouldn't speak all the time. We must listen to others. An important quote for Rollo May: communication leads to community, that is, to understanding, intimacy, and mutual valuing. Let us move to the interpretation for this important quote. So it is important for people in society to interact and exchange ideas, because the mean of communication here is to express thoughts and feeling. And by talking and listening to each other, we can express these values. It also creates a connection and develop a positive relationship, which would help them to tolerate, to form close bonds, and to be capable of appreciating others. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed our lesson for today. See you in next episodes, inshallah.